Good morning. I am headed to a state of the market discussion. So I figured I would take y'all with me at least for the ride. I don't know what's going on down here, but traffic in Baltimore is nuts right now. Good morning. Hey y'all. So going to the State of the Market event with Live Baltimore. If you're going to be there, I will see you there. Don't mind the setup in here. I'm in closed car, and clearly he don't be caring about going live because I can't change how that phone's sitting. But I'm excited to go through some of the metrics for last year. Y'all know I like to keep track of the data. We like to make decisions off of numbers and not emotions. And so it's always good when they have these annual events. Last year, we actually spoke at the State of the Market event. And so it'll be good to hear, see who's speaking, hear where folks are. I'd love to hear what people are thinking and feeling as far as the market in 2024. If you have been on our YouTube channel the last time I went live, which I do intend on being more active on YouTube again. So make sure, if you're not already, go to the YouTube, subscribe, check out some of the videos that are out there already. There's tons of information. I know folks are looking to learn. So there are definitely opportunities to learn there. And then I also will do live, like get it off my chest sessions, or talk about some the current events and things that are happening. I may do one after this event, depending on how things are going, to be able to do something this week and talk about some of the updates from this week. But yeah, so on my way there, we'll likely be talking about what neighborhoods were hot last year, what compared last year to previous years as far as the data and metrics for where folks are buying. I'm working on a few really exciting things that I can't tell about, but that data will help support some other stuff that we're working on. But I'm excited. It's good to be in the room. It's good to be part of the conversation. It's great to have the opportunity to get some updates and share it with all of you all as we make sure we're staying on top of things as well. There's a lot going on. And if y'all might have saw, it's real terrible. I was hoping that I could get out of town and come back and the snow would be going, but clearly that is not the case. Clearly that's not the case. What is going on in Baltimore right now? Why is there so much traffic? This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't work for myself to sit in traffic. I hate this. I hate this for me. What's up with y'all? What are you working on? What are you doing? What questions do you guys have as I go to this this event around the market? Is anyone working in specific neighborhoods, certain projects, planning out your 2024? Hi, Jay the Great. How are you? Good morning. I think is going to happen is they're going to say, obviously, that the market slowed up last year. I think we went from a low of, I don't know, we might have been at an average of 28 days on market during COVID, the height of kind of the COVID rush for buying properties, to I wouldn't be surprised if days on market are pushing, really probably in like the 50s at least, if not more, because in Baltimore, what's really challenging with the interest rates being so high is our tax rate. Great, an accident. Hold on. Are you okay, sis? You good? You need anything? Okay, see you. You don't know how to drive. The taxes being at a relatively high tax rate comparatively to other counties. When the houses are vacant, sure, paying 2.46% on your tax rate when your house is only assessed for $10,000, it's a few $100s a year, whatever. With these houses being, renovated and flipped and being sold at market, now you're paying like $10,000 a year for a $300,000 house. And so that's almost an extra $1,000 a month just on taxes, without thinking about your actual mortgage and your and the interest rates being high. So like it quickly became way expensive to buy property that was like, really the target of a lot of people during COVID. And so as a result, the market really slowed up, because the only people who are buying houses are people really who are buying it because they wanted to be here for work, or you know what I mean? Like they were buying for a reason, because interest rates were so high that a lot of people that may have been on the edge about buying weren't, right? I'm just going to stay where I'm at, right? I'm just going to wait. I'll extend my house rather than buy a new one. And so the demand definitely curved off in 2023 here, just like it did in many other states. But the property taxes being high definitely didn't help. Now there is a conversation, and I think I'll talk about this coming up on the next YouTube as well. There's a lot of conversation and discussion about taxes and changing the tax rate for vacant properties in Baltimore, and basically charging vacant property owners more for their taxes, which hopefully eventually means that the tax rate may come down for other folks, but we shall see. I don't think that's currently part of the legislation. I do this shit every time. I always miss this exit. Like, I don't drive here every day. It's ridiculous. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. So, like I said, I won't be surprised when they say that the demand has slowed up, or that that days on market has increased. We've seen that ourselves. We have 2 properties that we're selling right now, and we had a buyer, but buyers also are kind of like just like spooky. So one of the things that we do with our properties, because the taxes can be relatively high, is when you're doing market rate, is tax credits, right? To keep those taxes low. And so sometimes with those tax credits, there's certain things we have to do historically to the property. And so we had a buyer that didn't like that we had to update something for the tax credit that technically raised the value of the house, like the appraised value of the property, but she didn't like that something got changed. And so I was mad, but we fell out of contract with her because she didn't want extra hardwood floors. Whatever, sis. So yeah. So again, if you guys have any predictions for the state of the market, let me know. What'd you say? Is it a good time to sell right now? I think I won't say it's not a good time to sell. Like, if you could wait, or if like you can rent it out or things like that, I think that is probably good, depending on where the property is. So like if you're in an area that constantly has high demand for buyers, go for it. But if you're in an area where you are not only selling the property, you have to sell the opportunity in that neighborhood, and you don't have, tax credits, or you don't have, all of these things that really make the property stand out and make it, really, really strong for your buyer, I would keep an eye on these interest rates. I think interest rates are going to come down probably, 2-3 times this year. And so as the interest rates come down, I think that'll be a lot better. West North Avenue by Coppin. Is the property renovated? Is it renovated? The thing about West North Ave near Coppin, one, there's a lot of development coming over there. So holding could be a good idea, depending on some of the projects that are awarded by the West North Avenue Development Authority, because that will help drive some of the values in that area. drive them up. That's really one of the big goals of that organization, is to, why are people driving crazy today? What is wrong with y'all? It is Wednesday. Sheesh. So WNADA will help drive some of those prices, those values up. So if you can, depending on, again, what projects are awarded and where, if you can benefit from that. But the other thing about that area is that it's not historic. So over in that West North Avenue Coppin area, it's barely drizzling. People just can't drive. I'm not from Baltimore, okay? Khalil from Baltimore. The driving, like, bro, where are y'all going? First of all, it's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. Go to work. Exactly. Baltimore people cannot drive. Anyway, and what's up, Mark? Around Coppin, West North Avenue, they don't have historic tax credits. And so when you don't have historic tax credits and you're trying to sell property at market, and the area is still like transitioning, is still trying to like get its feet underneath of it, it's hard, because really not your only market, but like for the most part, there isn't a demand for that area other than students and people who work at the school currently. Now, what I really, really love long term is the fact that Coppin, fooling with y'all to miss my turn. What is really great about that area, and what I'm excited about, is not only WNADA, the West North Avenue Development Authority, but also Coppin, and how Coppin, the new president at Coppin, is really, really intentional about integrating Coppin State with Baltimore. And as they continue to do that, I think Coppin and the city is both going to benefit, including the area and neighborhood around it. So some of you guys may not know, but the president of Coppin is actually on the board of WNADA, because they know and understand that the success of West North Avenue becomes part of the success of Coppin when you think about not only attracting students, but also retaining them, right? And providing, housing for them. Although Coppin is building its own new additional dormitory, because quiet as it's kept, Coppin, Morgan, a lot of these schools, they get these kids on campus and don't have anywhere to house them, and they end up calling us talking about, do we have any openings? So them building a dorm and him trying to clean up those types of issues is really, really good. But yeah, so I long term, right, around Coppin, probably over the next like 3 to 5 years, love it. Right now, when it comes to market rate selling, can be challenging unless you are really, really good at marketing, at networking, like you're almost pre-selling your properties so that you have a source of buyers. You have people who have bought into the opportunity of living in this area and in that neighborhood. Otherwise, it becomes really, really hard to sell your house in an area that is, a majority vacant for the same price that, folks are selling properties for in another neighborhood that has tax credits and everything else. Just that apples to apples don't make sense unless you have kind of a bigger picture that you're pushing. All right, I'm trying to, Happy New Year. Let me go back. Let's see what y'all talk about. I have a property in Walbrook up on the market for $325, and where I'm going to have a hard time selling. It's completely renovated, brand new, everything. What else has sold over there right now? Like, look and see what else is selling and at what price, especially over the last maybe three to 6 months. I wouldn't say now's the time to be creating the market. Speaking of Coppin, let me see. Can I turn this around? Does this work? Speaking of Coppin, and y'all know I usually don't share where I'm at, but oh, damn it, I missed another turn. Oh, no, I didn't. But anyway, so yeah, I would pay really close attention to what else has been selling. Be very mindful and thoughtful about your expenses with your lender. I put a lot of money in to make it beautiful. I'm sure you did. I would pay a lot of attention to your lender, your interest costs. Like, be very mindful of how much it costs you to extend your loan if you need to. When is your loan due if you have one? Because sometimes it makes more sense to drop the price than it does to pay the lenders. Because right now, the people who are making the most bank are the folks who are lending the money out. And that's just a fact. And so what we need to stop doing is, low-key screwing ourselves so that these lenders are making bank on these properties because we can't, think longer term and drop the price on the property faster to save on needing to get those refi fees. And then when you refinance or extensions and interest payments and all that kind of stuff, like dropping the price $15,000, you might as well, because it's going to cost you that much just to reorganize your loan. So just be very mindful of that. Spreadsheets are your friend, right? Understand that numbers make your decision, not emotions. The house, I'm sure, is beautiful, but interest rates are crazy. I don't know if you have I don't know, and they are coming down, but still, I don't know if you have tax credits and things like that on the property. And this is why we do so much teaching and next gen with the coaching and all of these different things, and even all the free information that we shared going live like this while I'm sitting here driving around circles because I can't find a parking spot. Because what the key to success for real is going into the deal knowing and understanding all the things that are happening behind the scenes so that you can set yourself up for success on the front end, so that and make sure that you have all the tax credits and you know how to structure the deal, and you kind of understand, okay, here's my point of no return when it comes to dropping the price, or who I'm going to refinance with if I need to, or all of those things really, really matter. And a lot of times we're not spending the time on the front end to set ourselves up for success on the back end, because you don't want to be scrambling, Child, I'm fooling with y'all. I don't even know where I'm going. This is crazy. I thought it said lot F. They don't have us walking. This is why I should have Ubered. So yeah. Cool. East Preston, North Broadway, and North Wolf. Thoughts on that neighborhood? So our new construction project isn't terribly far from there. Obviously it's not that far from Hopkins. I think, again, right at this point in the market, interest rates, all that kind of stuff. One, I'll say you need to do historic tax credits. If you don't know how, all that other kind of stuff, you need to be, sorry. All right, now I'm the one that can't drive. And honestly, it's y'all's fault. To be honest. It's not even me. It's y'all. What was I saying? So our new construction projects over there. Over there, you need to be doing tax credits. If you don't know how, you should probably already be in next gen. You need to have a contractor that does tax credits. Data A&M is not the plug when it comes to doing stuff the right way. When you need to have, these tax credits and stuff like that. So definitely make sure that you're hiring the right people to do. This is ridiculous. I am about to leave. Make sure that you are hiring the right people to do the work if you're doing tax credits and stuff like that. But in that area, you should have tax credits on your property. And make sure that as you're looking at comps, that if you don't have tax credits, you're looking at comps of properties that don't have tax credits. Like, it needs to be apples to apples. Oh man, this is crazy. All I want to do, I should find street parking or something. One thing about Coppin, bro, there is nowhere to park. Oh my gosh. I'm not walking this far. It's snow on the ground. Others that sold for like $300K. So anticipate that, right? So if you're at 325 or whatever you said, if they sold around 300, make sure that they didn't have tax credits and stuff like that. But you know, I get you made it beautiful, right? But that's great. And what does the market require? Like, I think sometimes HGTV gets us all gassed up, and then we end up overspending on properties. So unless you have either really great rates when it comes to material and labor to doing the construction, your like renovation, at least like the cost and stuff like that, should be in line with each other. Otherwise you overdevelop. And so you make it beautiful, and that's great, but people are going to pay what they're going to pay for it, you know, and it still has to appraise based on the other properties. And yes, again, you made it beautiful, and that's great. And there's limits. So just, you know, again, as other folks are getting into it, keep that in mind. Oh my gosh, these are assigned parking too. Where do visitors park? Ah! Alright. Jesus. Did anyone go to Coppin? Where is like a quick little visitor spot I can go? Because I'm about to not go to this entire event. He said that's because I got some Baltimore in you. Fuck. Oh man, my mom's on here. Yeah. So yeah. So if we're doing property in that Broadway East, Oliver, whatever neighborhood, you need to be I know these people parking in the wrong spot. Here I am trying to do the right thing, and I ain't got nowhere to park. Ooh, baby, the way I'm finna go home. I am. I'm looking on North Avenue, but there's no parking spots. And I don't like walking super far. Let me try over here. I think I parked over here last time I was here. What day is it? Say Tuesday? That's a fire hydrant. Sheesh. Alright. Alright. Now I gotta be walking like I'm special, walking in late. Okay. Historic tax credits, if you're on Broadway East or Oliver or those neighborhoods, for sure. Walbrook, keep an eye on it. If you don't get, I think the biggest indicator is if you're not getting at least walkthroughs on your property at 325, you need to drop it. One thing that folks tend to forget sometimes is when people are looking to buy property as an owner occupant, they set their parameters at 325. Like, there's probably a lot of people that are looking at under 300, and so like that's why people do things like 299, 999, right, to hit the very height of folks whose search with their realtor is maxed out at 300. So keep that in mind as well. So if you're not getting people that want to come and look at your property, then you need to move a little bit quicker on dropping that price. All right. Should I be live during the session, or should I turn it off? Now the only other problem is I don't know where the hell I'm going. What building? Good morning. How you doing? Oh, I don't have anything on me, baby. I'm sorry. It's been on market about a week. How many showings have you done so far? And when is your when does your loan mature? Like when do you have to pay off your loan? I'm going to a state of the market like conference panel, whatever. You said 0 after a week? In Walbrook? In June the loan matures. Okay. So yeah, I would so you have a little bit of time there. So think about the loan maturing. Let's talk about that, right? So how you work backwards on making sure that you have something lined up. So we can let's assume that the buyer may need to have, or may do, was the house vacant when you bought it? I'm doing like a whole coaching session. Was it vacant when you bought it? Like a vacant building notice? So if your loan matures in June, I would say you want to be under contract by mid-April to give you about 45 days. So if your house was vacant beforehand, and this should be in your description as well for selling the property, is that it qualifies for the Vacancy Value Booster Grant. The Vacancy Value Booster Grant is $10,000 for your buyer, which helps with down payment and closing cost assistance, which means, you know, they get a little bit more money to buy your house than the house next door, which is great. But it takes about 45 days sometimes for the city to cut the check. So you need to be under contract by mid-April. So then back it up a little bit more. If you've been on the market for a week with no showings, double check, DM me your listing, because I'm feeling generous today. DM me your listing, and you should, I gotta figure out where I'm going. I'm gonna have to turn this off in a second. Make sure that like all your pictures are really good, like all that kind of stuff. Your description's really good. And then, where am I going? Hold on one second. Excuse me. Are you going to a Live in Baltimore event? Okay, perfect. Oh, I just saw the sign. Yes, thank you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, double check your listing. Make sure your pictures are really good. Add the $10,000 booster grant to your description. And then if you still don't have another any showings at all by the end of really this week, you should probably drop it for the first time. Make sure you're looking at your numbers as well. Like how much you're all in. Obviously you want to have your profit margins and things like that, but you want to know like how much wiggle room you really have, because you don't want to end up sitting on the property for too long and not be able to get out of it. But you should be fine. I'm not like, hopefully I don't sound like you need to panic, because you don't. But you don't want to you want to make your decisions quickly. All right, so I'm going to go into this. I hope you guys have a good one, and then I'll give an update later today. Bye.